Hi, my name is Philip. I'm also known as Pyro, and this is the first of a series of videos I'm going to be recording for you. And the series is called Life of Pyro, and this is episode 1, and it deals with internet love. More about that in a minute, but I wanted to introduce myself to you. Now, if you didn't know me, if you don't know me, like I just said a minute ago, my name is Philip, also known as Pyro. I have been into radio presenting and podcasting since 2012. I host a show called The Rock Monster Show that has been broadcast on many radio stations, and it's currently broadcast on We Rock FM. I also podcast under the name Rock Island Radio UK and podcast on multiple genres, which I might tell you a bit about later on. But anyway, that's my background. And these podcasts, now some of these podcasts you see, I say podcasts, these video podcasts, whatever you want to call them, some of them you see on here are quite high-tech, edited well. And I looked at programs that edit it, and quite frankly, I didn't have a clue. So this is me, warts and all. So if I cock up, we'll cock up together, and you'll hear all my cock ups, and it'll be left in. But anyway, welcome to this edition of Life of Pyro. And today I'm talking about internet love. Now, I'm not talking plenty of fish or Tinder. I'm talking about long distance relationships formed over the internet. Now, I have a partner now I've been involved with for 6 months or so. Her name is Mary, but she goes by the name Ava. So I'm going to refer to her as Ava after this. Now, how did I meet Ava? Well, we met on Facebook. Now, Ava listened to my radio show. Like I said a minute ago, she listened to the Rock Monster Show. She got in contact on Facebook, and we started talking. And we got to get to know each other quite well. Now, we found we had a lot in common. And from day one, we found that we had familiarity, and we come from a similar background. How this familiarity came into it, I don't know. Do you believe in reincarnation? Well, I think I do. Does this familiarity come into it through reincarnation that we've met before? I don't know, but we're not going to dwell on that right now. But what I wanted to do is tell you about how I met Ava. That we, like I said, we started talking more and more. We started chatting initially on text because she listened to my radio show, and we found out we had quite a lot in common. Now, we have similar interests. Of course, she listens to my radio show, and she's got good taste in that. Yes, of course she has. I'm going to say that because I believe my radio show is good. We do have similar interests. We also found that not only do we like a lot of the same music, we found that we eerily alike. She even liked Star Trek and Doctor Who. So what's more to like? Rock music, Star Trek and Doctor Who. We like a lot of the same things. We both like animals. We have an interest in nature, and we are both on a similar spiritual path. Now, we started to talk more and more and more, and we found that we was developing feelings for each other. Now, I often wonder if it was a chance meeting or it was destiny for us to meet. Now, I'm in my 60s now. I'll be 62 in November, and Ava is 57, so there's 4.5 years between us. So we are of a similar age. But was it a chance meeting? I don't know. Anyway, we got to know each other quite well, and Ava has helped me deal with things, and I've helped her deal with things. We both been through difficult times. I'm going through a divorce at the moment, just before we met, and Ava has been bereaved. And we have helped each other come through this. And she has helped me as well. Excuse me, as I got notes. I'm afraid to say I'm not a professional. So I made a few notes. I'm going to talk to you about some of the issues now that were brought up by family and friends. Is she a scammer? Is she AI? Well, I can assure you she's not AI. She is real, very, very real. And we have not met in person, but we chat all the time. We chat on video. But some people said to me, oh, she's scamming you, she's scamming you. So before we go any further, let's go through how to spot a scammer. Well, if you get to know somebody, it's always best to check out their identity. I didn't have any doubts about Ava's identity. She did actually, when I met her, she didn't have a passport, but she applied for a passport. And when she got a passport, she showed me the copy of her passport that proved her identity, as well as a real ID card. She lives in the USA, in Kentucky. That's what they have there. And you have to check to make sure they're real. Now, I googled her to make sure she was who she said she was. Now, I didn't do it because I didn't believe who she was. I did it for the benefit of some of the people who were saying things to me about her. She's not real, she's not real. Well, I found out she was real, and I found out she lived at the address that she told me she lived at, and I found out, yes, she definitely is a real person. And actually, my sister said to me, real people can be scammers too. Yes, that's true, and that's why you have to be quite savvy. Now, I'm 62 in November, like I said a minute ago. Now, if you were contacted by somebody, say 20 something, blonde, pretty, young, and you're in your 60s like me, it's likely to be a scammer. If they only send a picture and they don't talk to you on video or on calls, it's a scammer. But Ava is no scammer. We did get to know each other really well. We started talking more and more. In fact, we talked for hours every day. I know her life and she knows mine. And as you get to know each other, I always thought, this is just my own personal opinion, if you start in a new relationship, particularly with somebody you've never met, you should be honest with each other. Be transparent. Now, I told Ava what I call warts and all. I told her all the bad things, all the mistakes I've made in the past. I'm not talking really, really bad things, but you know, as you go through life, you make mistakes, don't you? I've made mistakes. So I told her all the mistakes I've made. And I told her all the nice things as well. I said, well, Ava, you know all my secrets now, all my dark secrets, as I called them. You can make your mind up. Do you want to be with me or not? And thankfully, for my sake, she did want to be with me. So get to know each other well. If you're going to start a relationship with somebody who lives in a different country you haven't actually met, spend time talking to them. Get to know each other really well. Now, we do this by using Facebook Messenger on video calls. And we talk for hours every day. In fact, several times a day sometimes. And we find it easier to use Facebook Messenger. We also chat on Discord as well, text messaging. So when we're not talking on video, we are texting each other through the day. And because Ava lives in a place called Sandy Hook, Kentucky, USA, and I live on the Isle of Wight in the UK, there is a 5-hour time difference which we had to overcome. So sometimes I'm talking to Ava really late at night. Sometimes she's talking to me very early in the morning, her time. But we've made it work. And the next point I got on this list is get to know their family. Now, Ava has 4 children. I have talked to 3 of her 4 sons, and they're getting to know me. So it's not only do I know Ava, I also know her family, and that's important. That's how you can also tell if they're real or not. In fact, I'm starting to form quite good relationships with her family. When we first met, her family were quite sceptical. Excuse my coffee. You've got to have a coffee, haven't you? Of course you would be. She was talking to somebody who lived many, many miles away in the UK, and they wanted to make sure their mother wasn't being scammed, or if she was in a vulnerable position that she wasn't being taken advantage of. And that's quite a sensible approach. But as they got to know me, and they don't know me that well yet, but they know what Ava says about me, and she talks about me quite a lot. Now you need to get to know them, and you need, as well as your intended partner, your partner, if you like, because Ava and I are partners. But as time went on, they saw how happy Ava made her, and she also makes me very happy. Now, I was suffering with depression. I had been for a while, and since I met Ava, she's made the difference in my life. I'm no longer depressed. I stopped taking my tablets. I'm happy now. I'm working hard, and life is good at the moment for me. But some people are not so sure. Not so sure. They want to know you're all right. I guess your friends and family want to know that you're happy. And I did have some opposition from some of my friends and family, and they didn't understand our connection. But I guess if you haven't been in a position like I've been in, do you know or not? Is internet love real? Well, yes, it is. At least I think it is. If you haven't been in a similar situation to me, you wouldn't know. They did not understand our connection. We have a deep spiritual connection, as well as having lots in common. Somebody said to me, you cannot fall in love on the internet. You don't really know each other. You don't know what each other's like. And I say to that, no, that's not true. If you spend time talking to one another, and as much as we have, you know each other. And falling in love, they also said you can like the idea of falling in love, but you can't fall in love. Well, yes, you can. We have fallen in love, and yes, it happens all the time. And I know of other people who's been in a similar situation to me as well. Somebody also said, let's go through another one that somebody said, as a practical person, I see problems ahead. Well, yes, that could happen, but we have both been married before. We are both adults. We're not going into this with our eyes closed. And if we did go wrong, like I said, it's our mistake to make. Excuse me while I turn over my notes. If you are serious about one another, and we really are, and you live in different countries, like I said, Ava's in the USA, I'm in the UK. One of you has to relocate. Now, we had a lot of discussions about this, and we decided that Ava is going to come to the UK. For one, I have a job here, and I'm in quite a secure job, as jobs can be, and I earn quite good money, reasonable money. And so it made sense for her to come to me because I had a job here. And she wanted to leave the US anyway, so we decided to come. So it makes sense for Ava to come here. And this is related. If you do have a partner in another country, and you decide you do want to be together, you need to make sure you can afford it. here in the UK, there are lots of hoops to jump through to satisfy the UK government that your relationship is real. The partner visas are very expensive. There are many different types, and so you do need to make sure you can afford it. At the moment, there is lots of overtime in my job, and I'm working a lot of overtime at the moment, so we have the money we need for the future. And also, Ava is working hard in the USA too. Now, my next point on my list, and if I had one of these super duper editing skills, I might have bullet points pop up on the screen. But as this is a warts and all video, no bullet points, I'm afraid, but I'm going to tell you. Now, to maintain a successful relationship, and it doesn't matter if it's internet based or in life, real life, you need to talk daily. We talk for hours every day on Facebook Messenger, like I said earlier. I think we talk more than couples who met by conventional means. We know a lot about each other. We laugh at each other's jokes. We make each other smile. We talk about how our days has been. We share our lives together. So yes, we do know each other well. And the most important thing for me is you need to make sure you have the romance. Well, we have a very, very romantic life relationship. We do. We share our lives together, and we are quite romantic. Now, you also need to be realistic about what you expect to get out of the relationship. Although we have only known each other for 6 months or so, we know what we want. We really do. We decided we do want to get married at the earliest opportunity. Now, I am going through my divorce at the moment, and Ava was bereaved, so it wasn't the right time for her to come to the UK at the moment. We had to make sure we got everything right to satisfy not only us, we need to make sure, by keep talking, we had to make sure that we was sure that it was right. What we wanted was right. What we both wanted, we wanted the same thing, and we do. And also where Ava was bereaved, and her kids were grieving as well, it has to be the right time. And we decided this year was not the right time for her to come, as much as I would have loved it. And also, where I'm going through my divorce, I wanted to make sure my divorce was final before Ava actually came over. Now, I did ask Ava to marry me online. Now, she said yes. I have actually already bought Ava an engagement ring, and we have actually said our vows over the internet and declared ourselves as husband and wife. Now, I know that's not legal, and it's not, and it's just as well as it's not, because if it was legal, I'd be a bigamist now, as my divorce is not yet complete. Now, we have not yet met in person. Now, I see Ava every day on my laptop, on my phone. We talk all the time, like I said earlier. And when I go to bed, I see her in my dreams every night. It's not been possible for us to meet in person yet, as I have been very, very busy working. I've been working my butt off this year because we've been quite short-staffed in our work. So I do work a lot of hours. And also, like I said, Ava is still getting over a bereavement, and we just felt it wasn't the right time for her to come now. I wanted to be fully divorced before we met in person. We have a really, really good relationship. We can't touch as there's 6,000 miles between us at the moment, but it won't be that way for long. Now, Ava never asked me for any money back on the scamming part of it. She's never asked me for a penny. and I haven't given her any money. The only thing I offered to do was buy her a plane ticket to the UK, which I have done. I didn't give her the money. I bought the ticket myself so she can come to the UK to be with me. Now, it's very, very expensive. It did cost me quite a lot of money to buy her a plane ticket, but she's worth it. She didn't ask me to do it. She was going to pay for her own plane ticket. But I said no. Relocating is very, very expensive, and it's only right that I expect to share some of the costs. Ava will pay her own way, and when she comes to the UK, she will work as soon as she's allowed to. But it's expensive business. I love Ava, and I want her to be with me, so it's only fair that I help her out in the costs. Now, I know we will work. People said you won't work. We will work because we have already been getting to know each other, and we know each other well, and we definitely have the romance in our lives, and we really, really do. Ava will arrive at Heathrow Terminal 5 on May the 23rd, 2026, and it's a time that I'm ticking down the days to, and I can't wait. Well, like I said, this is the first of a series of podcasts, Life of Pyro. Now, in the next one, whenever that would be, I will talk about our future plans, what we are going to do, because you need to come up with a lot of evidence to satisfy the UK authorities we're in a relationship. I would talk about what we're doing, the evidence we're building, and our future plans. So definitely check out the next video. Now, don't forget to subscribe and like this channel, and share, please. Please leave a comment for us below, and we will get back to you. We will answer any questions you have. Anything you want to know about our relationship within reason, we will tell you. And of course, I'm not going to come on here and without plugging my radio shows and podcasts. The Rock Monster Show airs on We Rock FM on a Thursday night, 6 till 8 p.m, which you can find on Get Me Radio, on the Get Me Radio app on your Alexa device, or going to www.werockfm.com. And the next thing I'm going to tell you, if you're recording a video, you should switch your phone off, and I didn't do that. So I said about cock up, so that was definitely one of them. I didn't switch my phone off, and it rang. And also, you can find my podcast, and I asked you to check out, if you use Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Podcasts, YouTube Music, and lots of other platforms, iHeartRadio in the USA, you can find me there by searching for Rock Island Radio UK, and that's the name of my podcast under. You may ask, why Rock Island? Because this is the Isle of Wight. We are a rock island. The original Isle of Wight festivals, we had some cracking rock bands play here. We had The Who, we had Jimi Hendrix, we've had Pink Floyd play here, we've had the Beatles play here, and of course we had the modern Isle of Wight festival. We've had David Bowie, we've had Tom Petty, and a lot more big rock names play on the Isle of Wight. Hence, I called it Rock Island Radio UK. And it's not just rock on my podcast platforms. I also do a show called The Country Club. We have the 100K show. We have Jukebox Heroes and mixes of many different genres, but mainly on the retro side. So be sure to check it out. Thanks for listening, and if you can, spread the word. Like I said, check out my podcast, leave a comment, and I will speak to you next time I record one of these.